This is my last day in my 20s. I am turning 30 tomorrow, and I have some mixed feelings about it, but mostly I'm excited. The last weeks have been very transformative. In comparison to the last couple of years, they have been relatively calm, but still very intense. A lot has happened. And it's good and bad, and I just wanted to chat through it a little bit. First up is mental health. If you've watched the latest videos, you will know that ever since we moved into the house, I have severely struggled with mental health, and it was quite the fight to get out of it. I'm not gonna lie, the entire month of June was just me being insanely burnt out, and then July was basically the month of recovery for me, and I'm just so happy that I'm now really on the other side of it. Is my life perfect? Absolutely not. Are there still so many reasons to feel burnt out and on edge? Yes, absolutely. Like, a lot of the problems that caused me to feel burnt out are still here. They're still not solved, but we're taking steps one step at a time, and my mental health is just a lot. I'm in a much better place, thank God. My physical health, however, threw me a curveball, because once I finally started to feel better mentally, I got sick. I have mentioned before that I'm chronically ill, and we assume that what I had is connected to my chronic illness. I'm not going to go into details, also because I don't have a final diagnosis, because I did went to the doctors here. I even went to the emergency room of the hospital on the neighboring island, and yet still I don't have a diagnosis, because the one doctor who could have performed the exam that would have been needed was on vacation, and they didn't have anybody else to do it. And they told me that I would get an appointment when he's back, but I haven't heard anything until today. I almost left for Germany. I ended up calling my doctor in Germany and asking her if I should come home, if this is something that is urgent, and she wasn't sure either. It was a complete mess, but in the end, I decided to stay because I started to finally feel better. And I don't think that this whole issue is resolved. I don't think that I'm healed or healthy right now, but I feel a lot better. Like, I can function. I'm a normal human being right now. However, I am so grateful that I finally feel better and just can do things, because during that time, it was like about 3 weeks, I didn't dare to move my body, because I just didn't know what was going on and what I had and what would make it worse and what would make it better, because nothing really made it better, and I was constantly in pain. And so I didn't move. I stayed on the sofa for 3 weeks, which was okay because I had a lot of work to do, but still, it wasn't very pleasant, and I really got the itch to go outside and move my body, because I mean, it's summertime and the weather has been so nice on most days, even though our summer this year is very, very, very wet. However, I prefer that to all the climate catastrophes that are happening in other parts of the world, like northern Italy or the south of Spain and that kind of stuff. So no complaints here, just saying that it is more wet than usual this year, like there's a lot of rain. But yeah, so anyway, I still wanted to go outside and move my body, which was perfectly aligned with the fact that I had done so much reflecting over my mental health downward spiral that I had, as well as the 3 weeks on the sofa being sick. I was reflecting so much. I was very internal in those weeks and one of the many things that I was thinking about was that I really want to show up for myself more, especially in the health department. I don't live super unhealthily at all, but as I've mentioned in another video, like for example, things like stretching, flexibility, and gentle, intentional movement are things that I just haven't done in a very long time. And things like that, as boring as that may sound, are self-care. They are you showing up for yourself. And I'm not talking about becoming super ripped and fit or losing weight. It's not about that at all. I couldn't care less about this. I just want to be healthy. I want to be in less pain. So once I finally felt better, I was so excited to get out of the house, be outside and move my body and start those new habits that I want to create for myself, and those new routines and those new things that I want to be a part of my life. And one of those things was to start to go and have an early morning swim. This might not sound that exciting to you, but for me, I feel like if I really end up sticking to this, I think this might become life-changing for me, which sounds wild because it's just a single habit. But as a child, I used to be obsessed with water. I would be at the lakes in the area that I lived in southern Germany, in the Fünfseenland. I used to be on the lakes any day of the summer. Like as soon as it was warm enough, I was at the lakes, I was swimming. Even before that, as a little kid, you know, like I loved to go to the pools and all of that kind of stuff. And whenever we did go on vacation, I would spend every day from morning till night either on the pool or on the ocean. So I don't know why I ever stopped being so obsessed with the water and with swimming. But I mean, just I guess being a teenager didn't help, right? And now here on the island, even though I have the ocean all around me, I've barely ever been inside the water, which is wild to me. I've been here for 5 years and I think I went swimming maybe 10 times, if that, which is not a lot. And so I don't know why I didn't do it. I have no idea. I think there was just like a mental block and also eventually like no time and whatever. However, now I started to go for a swim every single morning. And it's this perfect combination of doing something that brings you joy, doing something that helps your mental health, because it really does. It's also like cold water in the morning, so it wakes you up and it's good for your immunity system as well. And I do my stretches in the water because it's so much easier in the water than it is on my hard living room floor because I still don't have a yoga mat. When I'm doing my stretches in the water, it is almost pain-free for me, and that is just mind-blowing. And in general, whenever I'm in the water, I'm almost weightless, and that leads to me being pain-free, which is an experience I didn't have in a long time. And that is very nice. It's very nice. And there have been instances where I almost fell asleep in the water because it was just so relaxing to not be in pain for once. So that was very nice. And it's of course also exercise. And then I also knock off the walk of the day part because like I have to go on a walk, you know, like the water is not like next to my door. So I have to walk to get there, walk to get back home. So yeah, it's just all around perfect, and my mental health has improved just in this week like 300%. It's it's crazy. I feel so happy and alive and awake and full of energy, and I'm sure long term it will also have the physical effects that I'm hoping it will have. So yeah, I'm very excited that I've started this. The other thing I have been doing a lot in the last couple of weeks is working. This is also something that I've briefly mentioned in past videos, and that is that my freelance has suffered immensely in the beginning of this year because I just didn't have time, because I was constantly in this house working here from morning till night, and then with my sickness there was just no spoons left, no energy left, nothing left in me to continue my work. And now I'm currently getting back up on my feet, with my self-employment. And if you are looking for a freelance creative, please text me, please write me an email. I would love to work with you. I'm still looking for new clients and new opportunities. Then I finished my manuscript. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself. It happened during those weeks that I was sick, so there wasn't a big celebration, but like I'm just gonna use my birthday as a celebration of that on top. Like I'm just gonna mix things together because I have been working on this manuscript for 5 years. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have briefly mentioned it in a previous video. I have been working on memoirs about my Azores journey. It is a mixture of my own story and the story of the Azores, like all the traditions, the culture, the people, the nature, like everything you need to know about Azores basically, or maybe not everything, but like a lot of things that you might also encounter when you come here or when you move here. Like that combined with my own story and my own personal experiences and lessons that I've learned and all of that kind of stuff combined in one book. And I've been working on that for 5 years, basically ever since I came here. In the beginning, it was just me trying to capture what I was experiencing, and then eventually it became something much bigger than that. And I have completed my manuscript, which is wild. I completed it on a perfect evening outside. I was sitting outside, the sun was already setting, the sky was in all those beautiful pastel colors, and there were bats flying around, and there was a cat over there, and it was just so perfect. And I wrote the last sentences, and I'm just so proud of this accomplishment. I think this is the biggest project I've ever done in my life, and I'm just so proud of it. I wish I could tell you that it is going to be released within the next couple of weeks or months, but unfortunately I don't see that happening, simply because I want this to be traditionally published. If you don't know, all 3 of my books that I have published so far are all self-published, and I've done everything myself, from the cover to the inside design. You know, I've done it all by myself because I have no budget. So, and that's fine. Like, it's cool. I have that skill set. I can do it. But I feel like the Azores book really should be the best book it could possibly be, which means I want an editor. I want a professional cover designer. I want good printing quality. I want to have photos in the book. I want to have a map in the book, like, so people know which islands I'm talking about. Like, that is what I would really wish for this book to happen. And I have applied to some German publishers so far, because I've written it in German so far. And unfortunately, I haven't heard back anything, which usually means no. Like, I still have a month of waiting time to finally see that it was a no, but it doesn't look good, which is a shame, because there is literally not a single travel book on the German market about the Azores, except for, like, you know, travel guides. But there is no travel memoir or anything along those lines about the Azores. So it is definitely something that is missing on the market. So, I mean, they're missing out. So if I don't hear back from them, I'm contemplating of translating parts of it, or trying to translate everything, even though my English is very good, especially the written English. My verbal English is not that great, but my written English is very good. However, of course, I'm not a native speaker, so like I'm sure a native speaker would translate this much better. But then I would try and, try it with English-speaking publishers. Again, if you have any connections, let me know. And if that also fails, then maybe self-publishing. That's kind of like what I'm aiming for. Until that is the case, however, we're just gonna continue with life as per usual. As you can see, my desk is back in the living room. However, this is not its final place. I just put it here because I filmed my next Skillshare class, which is all about blackout poetry. And when you are seeing this video, it is already live. I'm gonna leave a link down below. I'm also going to attend an extended university course on sustainability online. because I realized that I really want to work in sustainability. I really want my work to make a difference. However, I do not have the skill set to work in these jobs. And while I cannot afford to go back to university full-time, I can take advantage of online courses and certificates and that kind of stuff that you can do online. And that's what I'm going to start with this year as well. In terms of reading, I am doing so well. I've read 8 books in July, which is more than I've read in, I think, 2-3 years in a single month. So I'm very excited. And I've been still reading very good books. I'm enjoying my time. The summer TBR that I made, I'm working my way through that as well. And it's been great. It's been good. And yeah, I'm so happy that I finally can read again. So this is it. Those were the last couple of weeks in my 20s. Tomorrow I'm going to start to be in my 30s. And well, at the end of the day, it's just a day like any other day. We all grow older each and every single day, not just one day of the year. I still think that this is going to be a brand new era, a brand new chapter for me. I am really excited. Of course, I'm also a bit like about the fact that I can no longer say that I'm in my 20s and I have to say, oh, I'm in my 30s now. Not a fan of that. However, it is such a privilege to get older. And when I look back at just how much has happened in my life in my 20s, in those 10 years, it's mind-blowing to me, and I'm excited to see what the next 10 years of my life are gonna bring. If you're interested, please leave me a comment down below, and I might make a videos about all the lessons that I've learned in my 20s. There are a lot of them. So maybe I make like 10 lessons that I've learned in my 20s. If you're interested, let me know. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to be alive right now. Not only like right in this moment, even though now my mental health is so much better than it was just a couple of weeks ago, but just in general, like not everybody gets the chance to turn 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. Like it is such a privilege. It is such a luxury that so many people around the globe never get to experience. And while the world is not just beautiful, like again, I'm so passionate about environmentalism. So like I see what is happening every day, and it breaks my heart. It makes me very afraid for our future. But at the same time, there's also so much hope and so much activism and so much passion and just so many possibilities. And nature and our planet is just so beautiful, and I'm so grateful that I get to experience it, and especially here on these islands. Like I'm just so glad to be alive and to be turning 30 tomorrow. It's such a gift. I'm so happy about it. I'm also ready to finally leave those last nasty habits of mine behind. I don't plan to be a perfect human. That's completely impossible. But as I said, I really just want to show up for myself. And I want my 30s to be about showing up for myself and taking care of myself and loving myself and getting deeper into sustainability, because yes, that is my mission. And of course, I'm always gonna write books. I hope there are gonna be many more books published in my 30s. I hope I will finally get traditionally published. That's my goal as well. And I'm always gonna read books because I just love it. And I'm always gonna continue to garden. Oh, speaking of, I need to show you something. Isn't this the most precious little pumpkin you've ever seen in your life? It is so small. It's a Hokkaido pumpkin. My mom saved me some seeds because it's my favorite type of pumpkin. It is all the hype in Germany, and you cannot get your hands on it over here. People here grow very different types of pumpkins, which do a lot better with the climate, I've got to say. Like, they know what they're doing, and their pumpkins are great as well. But I was just missing that very sweet Hokkaido pumpkin for my pumpkin soups. And so I grew them with the seeds that my mom saved me. And this is the second pumpkin that we got. And it is so small. And it's so perfectly round. It's so beautiful. I'm so obsessed with it. It's so pretty too from the colors. Like, it's so perfect. I'm so excited. But with my little pumpkin, I'm gonna leave you off, and I'm gonna hope you are having a fantastic week. And I'm just excited for the future.